Hi, this sounds from Orchestra Music and a second video on RFM delay. I've got the module in here in the standard settings, so that's at 100 milliseconds for both channels. I've got the two VCOs still in here, I've got the filter still in here, not in the shop yet, but that will come later hopefully. The Electrax and a low frequency oscillator in the stereo mixer. So that's basically it for the moment. So the first time I just showed the normal use of the delay, so a normal value for low and stuff and like that. So let's do it a bit differently now. Let's take the Electrax out, and the Electrax is a sort of rhythm generator, so let's take this stuff out first. And I'll put the Electrax into my stereo mixer first, and let's just first of all start off with a basic sound, which is just a kick and a delay, because it is a 4-track sort of rhythm sequencer. So I have the first track just with a low tempo and just a kick, and I could take the second one and take a snare in there. It's electronic sounds, there's no samples or something like that, but still you can use the pitch and stuff like that to change that value. You can change decay and stuff like that, and stuff like noise to make it a bit more snappy and stuff like that. And you got a pan for all of the stuff, so you can set the snare to one side, for instance. Okay, so that's basically it, but of course there's a lot of outputs on this as well, and you see, for instance, that there's control voltages, but also the envelopes that are getting out of all of those channels. So let's take the envelope channel out of the first track, which is the kick drum, and I'll put that into my delay and say that I would use the output of the filter to go here, which is just only the oscillator. Oh, I already have it hooked up, sorry, hang on a sec. So normally this is just my normal VCO that's sounding through the VCF based on a gate, and still got some other stuff in there apparently. Hang on. Oh, yep, okay, sorry. So basically it's just responding to my gate from voltage modular as it shows here, which is going straight into the gate, and it got the pitch going into control voltage for the VCO and the output for the VCO into the input of the filter, and this is outputting to the stereo mixer. So that's what I have this. But this is getting the envelope from this, so that means that if I take this out and I drive the envelope of this filter with it, it's now going to do that based on the input that it gets, of course. And you already hear that since I have the mix open, you actually get two envelopes. So if I dial this back, it's getting just the standard kick as soon as the kick is being given by this. So if I put the next one, something like that. But so now if I use my shift keys to go into the sync mode, and I'll put this into quarters, or I don't have this synced at the moment, I think. Oops. I'll put that on sync as well. So now if I take this out and I start, so now it's driving that with the delay of this delay module. And let's take the other one to another setting. take the because now it sounds like there's more in there, but it was only actually the other delay that's working on that. And if I was to change this by using it's driving the delay time with the low frequency oscillator that I have in here. And for instance, the LFO here also has a reset switch. So if I use that reset from, say, the control voltage of this, and I would use, instead of a triangle, I would use a sawtooth. I'll go back to this. So if I'm in for effects or really, yeah, strange experiments with sound, I can do that, because actually this is, as I said, if I take this back to bypass, this is what it normally would come up with, just with the one filter that is being opened when the kick plays, because the kick takes the output of the envelope into the delay triggers the filter has been worked on by the sound of the oscillator. So I can still do this kind of stuff, still play that, and let's put that on. And if I change the level, of course, it's going to be less deep in terms of modulation of the delay time. And if I use extra triggers, and since this is an envelope, also if I would change the decay on the Electrax, it will give you more sound. Also the volume, let's take the level of this down, because stop it for a while. So because actually the kick drum in the Electrax, I've got a couple of settings for that. I've got the pitch, I've got hang on, I've got my lenses out. So I've got as you can see, I've got the pitch, I've got a wave, I've got decay, bend time or B time, noise, level, and pan. So that means that if I would play it now, so let's take the filter out of the equation for now. So just take this down and take the level of this kick up. I've got this, I've got the pitch, as you can hear, so turn it down a bit, and the decay, I can use that to take or to get a longer kick, and I can change the wave, because at this point it's sine wave like, and it's going up to sort of sawtooth, I think it was. So I've got that, and I've got noise that I could put in there if I wanted to. So that's basically how I would create some kind of basic rhythm. As you can see, I obviously have the snare in here, which, let's make it snappy again. And then and the other channels are for things like hi-hats or bells or that kind of stuff. So and then, since this obviously can use the envelope to drive something else by using that, it will still do that in sync with each other. Let's take the modulation out. So it's pretty nice to create some kind of rhythm that way by using the delay to drive in some tempo based on a sequenced gate or trigger or whatever. And obviously you can use the output of the other one as well to trigger stuff. So a lot of space for experimentation if you want it. So I think I want to leave it with this for this video, to keep it short again, and I will be back with others later. So have fun. Cheers. Bye bye.